Good evening or morning, whatever it is, ladies and gentlemen. My name's John. I hope you enjoy this painting, and today we're talking about trusting yourself. Before we get into that, please hit the like and subscribe button so that we can all hang out and have a great time together. And so trusting yourself, bit of a finicky thing, because the thing that you're always going to be dealing with is bringing up bad memories of times when you absolutely crapped the bed and did not do what you were supposed to do. You did not take care of that one thing. You did not take care of yourself. You got yourself into that horrible mess, and now you're here. And that's really the hardest thing to deal with when it comes to trusting yourself to do the things that you say you're going to do. And of course, that translates to confidence. Confidence to go through life and say, yes, I can do this, and no, I'm not going to do that simply because I said so. And so, of course, you have all of these memories, and you kind of keep like a backlog of all of these different times. And so if you develop a bad habit of constantly doubting yourself, you will continually justify it with, a whole list of memories of times when, hey, I thought I could do it, but then I didn't. And that can be really, really hard to deal with. And sometimes, when I've been trying to deal with this in my life, a lot of times it starts with a conscious choice to talk to myself differently. And then it leads to a conscious choice of, I'm going to try again to trust myself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And, hopefully if you pair that with the proper amount of effort, you can actually accomplish something or get to a place where it's like, hey, I trusted myself and it did work out this time. And sometimes it can take a long time, like I'm talking years, of just consciously fighting back those bad memories of when you did not, come through for yourself or someone else at all, and you feel really bad about that, and just constantly saying, hey, I need to try. I need to learn to trust myself. Let's just try again. Let's just do it again and put forth more effort this time. Let's figure out what went wrong and do it again. And over time, you can get to a place where it's like, oh, we've been trying to do this for a while, and oh wow, look at this. Things are actually getting better. When I tried to do something that time, it actually worked. And then you'll start, slowly over time, you'll start to have more positive memories of times when you did actually trust yourself and it did turn out okay. You did come through for yourself. But, that's always the hardest part, is getting that wheel going, getting that, that thing spinning. And it's so difficult in the beginning because you have a whole list of reasons of why you shouldn't trust yourself, and yet here you are trying to convince yourself to trust yourself. Your brain is being like, yeah, but here's a whole list of reasons and memories why we literally shouldn't try that thing. And then you're literally sitting there trying to argue with the very good evidence from your past as to why, no, we should try again. We should step up. We should try to get that job, or we should try to get that girl, or attempt that project, or contact that person, or make amends with this person, or whatever. You could be sitting there trying to advocate for yourself to just to move on and try again, and your doubting self-conscious mind will just be like, no, here's a whole list of things. And so sometimes you just gotta take that first step and get the ball rolling. But how do you do that? Because it's ridiculously hard. I'm not sitting here trying to just be like, oh, life is great and just get on with it. It can be really, really tough. It's really, really hard to trust yourself when you have dug yourself into a hole and you have all of these memories that say that you are not trustworthy for whatever reason. That's really freaking hard, and I have a lot of empathy for that. And I wouldn't say I've been in the deepest pits of that myself, but I definitely have, have some experiences with that. And sometimes it comes back to your beliefs. Your brain will present you with evidence, but what do you actually believe in? And you think, well, I believe in the evidence, and so that means sometimes you have to go to external sources for evidence. And so one of the core beliefs that I have is that all human beings are capable of change. And so what you could argue against your brain with is saying, hey, all human beings are capable of change. You see that person over there, they did all that bad stuff. We've never done that before, and yet they were able to turn out like this. So they were able to turn their life around and accomplish X. See, they did it, and they're a human like me. Therefore, I am capable of making a change as great as theirs. I just have to figure out how. And so sometimes it has to come from an external source of motivation, an external source of inspiration, and you have to use other people's success stories as evidence to argue back against your brain with yourself and say, hey, no, I believe all human beings are capable of growing, and therefore I am capable of it too. And here's evidence of this other person. And so all I have to do is figure out how they did it. I may not be capable of, achieving those things now, but if I practice, I can grow into the kind of person who is. And so that would be my methodology for arguing back against my doubting brain and just saying, hey, look, other people have done way worse than me, and they've accomplished way more than me. So there's obviously an untapped level of potential that is still embedded in me, and I'm going to choose to believe in that instead of you, Mr. Negative Brain, and I'm going to actually work harder based on that, and then eventually I will create evidence for myself that I am trustworthy. And honestly, it's just a big cyclical process. Every day you got to get up and you got to fight those doubts, and you got to fight with your brain and the anxiety and the self-hatred, and say, hey, you know what, it's worth it. I don't want to be here forever. I don't want to be feeling like this forever. So we have to do something. I may not exactly know what it is, but I got to do something to get back to a place where I can actually trust that I am going to do what I say I'm going to do, and I'm going to be able to take care of myself and the people that I care about the most. And honestly, it's some days it's just, you just put one foot in front of the other and you keep going. And it's really a place of, I think honestly, sometimes you have to get to a place of self-love and convincing yourself that you're worth the effort. You have to genuinely believe that you're worth it, and that you deserve love, and you deserve a better life, and you deserve, all of the benefits of putting in the effort in order to prove to yourself that you are trustworthy and you are someone who can be counted upon, and that you're someone who is able to do what they say they're going to do and actually follows through on their actions. And then, once you cross that line, once you get through that really negative, dark state, it then is consistent practice. It's like, okay, I accomplished this. I said I was going to do it, and then I did this. And then every time you want to be very, very conscious of what you say you're going to do. And every time you're in that scenario, you're going to say, hey, you know what? Time to step up again. And you're going to keep trying. And over the years, it will have a compounding effect. The confidence will increase slowly, but eventually you're going to have a whole list of evidence to the contrary and say, hey, no, actually I did accomplish that. I did do that, and I was capable of doing that. And you're going to be able to present more and more evidence to your doubting side of your mind, and you're going to be able to use that as leverage to do bigger, greater, more amazing things and make even bigger changes in your life. Eventually it'll compound so much that the changes will actually start growing exponentially, and you'll just have even more reason and more evidence to trust yourself and your confidence will continue to grow. So it's a slow snail crawling pace where you're just clawing and ripping through the dirt of self-doubt, but eventually you get on your 2 feet and you just start practicing. You just repeat, you practice and you practice and you practice, and eventually you'll get enough wins to the point where you'll actually have some confidence and you'll actually be able to grow from there. And I hope this has blessed you. I hope that this is giving you some sort of encouragement. I hope to see you around here again, so please hit the like and subscribe button and stick around for new videos very soon. Have a great rest of your day.